Hey guys, welcome to Lucas Garage. So you might be wondering why I'm actually making a video about this car, because as you can see it's completely stock and the bodywork isn't in that great of a shape. But this is my project car, it's my daily driver at the same time, and it's my first car I ever owned. So in the past year I've driven it as it is right now, and I guess it's time to make some improvements to it in the coming months, coming years. I really feel like buying an old car is a little like getting a dog from the shelter. Until you take it home, you don't really know how much the previous owner has abused it and what needs to be done to get it to do what it's supposed to do. So sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're very unlucky. So once I saved up enough money to buy my first car, I really knew it was going to be an old car. I really like the styling of it and the feel of a car that's completely mechanical without any computer actually overseeing everything that's happening under the hood. So what I really like about this car is the way it drives. I really like the light feel of it, the nimbleness of it. And even though it doesn't really have any power at all, in the city it feels like a really nice car, something that really belongs in the city. What I really like about the driving experience is all the feedback that the steering wheel gives back to you. That's obviously no power steering, and it has a very direct connection, it gives me a very direct connection to the road. And that, for a car this age, feels pretty good, especially as it was never meant to be a sports car. What I really don't like about this car is the fuel economy. It does about 9 to 10 kilometers to 1 liter of fuel, and especially comparing it to today's standards, that's really bad. I use this car as a daily driver, so for me that really is a problem. So in the future I'd like to switch to an engine that actually gives me some great fuel mileage, gas mileage, and I'll probably switch to diesel if I have the opportunity to. When I got this car, it was in pretty bad shape. I probably paid way too much money for it. At the time, I really didn't know what to look for. So I bought a car that seemed to be pretty decent at first sight. These cars are pretty rare these days, and finding a good one with a tight student budget is pretty hard. So at the time, the battery was dead, so we had to start it using a starter pack. And it had some pretty big holes, especially down here beneath the door. And since then, one of my good friends repaired that area. He welded in some new metal to make sure that everything was really going back to normal. And just a few months after that, the engine died. So I had to source a new engine. Actually, I put the same type of engine in again that actually came out of it. So it's pretty much still stuck, even though I paid a lot of money and used a lot of time with my dad and some of my friends to help me out to get this car on the road again. In this this channel I would like to take you along for the ride and show you what I am going to do with this car. When I first got the engine, it seemed to be in a pretty nice shape, but after a short while, oil started leaking out. So we took the head off, and it really was a mess in there. The piston rings came out in about 3 pieces, and it really needed a full rebuild. So we built up the block again until what it is now, and it has done about 8,000 kilometers since. And it's a pretty nice shape right now, but still, the fuel mileage is pretty bad. It doesn't really go that fast, and it doesn't accelerate at all after about 80 kilometers an hour. So in the future I am definitely thinking about doing an engine swap, and I hope to document that as well in these videos. What you see here in front of you is the heart of my car. It's an 1100cc petrol engine. At 3000 RPM it makes about 80 Newton meters of torque, and at 6000 RPM it should make about 50 horsepower. Even though the complete brake system has been rebuilt, only stock parts have been used from the basic model of 1982, so it still really brakes like an old car. In the future I would like to upgrade this as well, but to do so a lot has to be changed. I want a new master cylinder, a new brake booster, bigger disc in the front with bigger calipers, and I'll probably keep the rear as it is because it doesn't really do that much. Now obviously the wheels and tires need to be addressed as well. I just checked the dot code on it, and it appears these tires have been made in 2008 at the end of the year, so they're definitely due for a change. I really don't like the way the old wheels look, so I'm probably going to get some new wheels for them as soon as I can. According to the paperwork that I got when I bought the car, the suspension has been redone about 12 years ago, but right now I have a leaking damper in the front, which makes the ride pretty harsh when you go over bumps. So as you can tell, there's a lot that needs to be done. Right here on this channel I would like to document my own progress as a car guy, and I would like to take you along for the ride. I'm planning on doing a lot of different projects on this car and maybe some other cars in the future. I hope to see you in the next episode of Lucas Garage.